full-size SUVs have been getting a little more popular lately due to the fall in gas prices and increase in demand for sport utility vehicles. With General Motors' full-size SUV lineup being huge cash cows for the company and holding most of the market share, Nissan is wanting its cake too. So for 2017, Nissan is finally, after nearly 15 years, rolling out a redesigned Armada. While this vehicle is really only completely new to North America, you may find it as a decent alternative from the domestic brands. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Nissan Armada Platinum. Now the Armada here really isn't completely all new. It's based off of the Nissan Patrol, which is actually sold globally except for here in the States. And then it's also based off of the Infiniti QX80, which has actually been selling here since the 2011 model year. So it's been selling for quite some time. And I'm actually quite surprised it took Nissan this long to roll out a new Armada here. But I really do love the styling of the vehicle, and it is a little bit different in terms of styling compared to the Patrol. You get these really nice looking 20-inch alloy wheels, and I love the black finish on them. Really nice looking, really matches with this black color pretty nicely. And then I love how it has very truck-like styling. It has pretty high ground clearance, and you won't find a really low front air dam like how you'll find on GM's full-size SUVs. Now here goes the key fob design for the vehicle. It's your typical Nissan Smart Key. You have your lock, unlock. To release your trunk, you have a power tailgate and your panic button and your remote engine start. Our Armada here is also the top of the line Platinum, which is nice. Now this color is known as the Super Black, and it does have Smart Key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. And it comes with the charcoal leather interior. I really do like this brown piping right here, and then the contrast stitching. You also have your power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now stepping on inside of the new Armada here, the first thing you'll notice is the step-in height. It's pretty high, but that's to be expected since this vehicle is based off of a truck. But it's a pretty luxurious cabin design. It's starting to show its age a little bit, since this vehicle is based off of the old Infiniti QX80, which has been selling since 2011, and then also the Nissan Patrol. Like I said, this isn't completely new here, but it's a pretty luxurious and opulent feeling cabin, and this certainly has an Infiniti-like level of quality. Now you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 5.6 liter V8. You have a full leather wrap steering wheel. Coming to your transmission, you will find a 7-speed automatic with manual shiftability. No paddle shifters here, but who wants paddle shifters in a full-size SUV? You also do have a 360-degree view rear view camera. You have a top-down view, and then you have guidance lines as well as trajectory, which is nice. And then you have your parking sensors for the rear. And then when you put the vehicle into reverse, the mirrors will tilt down. You can also change the views if you like. As you can see, you have cameras on the side mirrors. So you won't have trouble backing up this thing, and that's especially needed in this big old full-size SUV here. Now let's go ahead and turn on the headlights and the fogs and then the hazards. Let's check out the exterior of the vehicle. All windows are fully automatic in the Armada. Just gonna pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. And you also do have cameras on the side mirrors, of course. Now the new Armada here also has a much more stiffer and rigid body structure. And like I said, it does offer higher ground clearance than most full-size SUVs, especially the General Motors twins. Coming up front, you have standard LED headlights as well as LED daytime running lights. And you have your halogen fogs below, as well as front parking sensors. is a big old traditional 5.6 liter V8. And I love how Nissan isn't using turbochargers here. It produces 390 horsepower at 5,800 RPM, which is up from 317 from the last generation Armada. And then it produces 394 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. You're looking at EPA estimates of 14 in the city and 19 on the highway with our two-wheel drive model. Go for four-wheel drive and you're looking at 13 in the city and 18 on the highway. And those are pretty disappointing fuel economy numbers, even for a full-size SUV. If you're looking for better fuel efficiency, you'll want to check out the domestic brands. The Ford Expedition offers much better fuel efficiency with its turbocharged engine. And then also the GM Twins also offer better fuel efficiency, and then they have cylinder deactivation. But this V8, it's a big old traditional V8, so I mean, can't expect Prius-like numbers here. Competitors of the Armada, you have the vehicles in the full-size SUV class. This includes the likes of the Chevrolet Tahoe, GMC Yukon, Ford Expedition, and the Toyota Sequoia. Now the Armada has three different trim levels. You have the base SV, which comes pretty well equipped with dual zone climate control, a rear view camera, and heated seats. And then you also do have the mid-trim level, which is the SL, and then the top of the line Platinum. Total vehicle price for our particular model is $58,835. That's the MSRP here. And then EPA estimates, like I said, 14 city, 19 highway. And then final assembly point says is in Los Angeles, California. Now the price is pretty budget-minded compared to some other full-size SUVs like the GMC Yukon, Toyota Sequoia, and the Chevrolet Tahoe. Coming to the rear, you have LED illuminated taillights, rear parking sensors, rear reflectors, and a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, and an LED third brake light. All of your basic power necessities, power windows, door locks, mirrors, and they do power fold. Nice little feature there. And you do have your memory seat settings for two people, chrome interior door handles, and morphs, that contrast stitching. Now one thing I really do love about the Armada's interior is just the vast amount of space it has, and there's nothing like a full-size SUV when it comes to space, and crossovers can feel dwarfed in comparison with the Armada here. I found a pretty comfortable driving position in the Armada, and I really do like the seats. The seats are really comfortable and plush, and they're pretty good for long road trips, but they don't offer a whole lot of side bolstering. They won't hold you in place all that well, but they're very comfortable in my opinion. Now, as far as visibility goes in the Armada, there's a decent amount of glass area on the front windows. Seeing out of the windshield is pretty easy too. And when you get to rearward visibility, it isn't too shabby, but it does help out that you do have that 360-degree view rear view camera. Now, interior quality in the Armada is excellent, and in fact, it's one of the best in the full-size SUV segment. You have nice soft touch materials everywhere inside this vehicle. Like I said, it has an Infiniti-like level of quality. There's stitching everywhere, and it just oozes luxury inside of here. Coming to the steering wheel design, the steering wheel design is slightly dated and is already showing its age, but you do have your steering wheel mounted audio controls and your Bluetooth phone controls, and then you also do have your adaptive cruise control, and then we also do have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Up here you do have an auto dimming rear view mirror with garage home link, sunglass container, and your sunroof. One thing I'll complain about in full-size SUVs is that they don't offer panoramic sunroofs. I wish they would offer a panoramic sunroof on the Armada here. Down here you'll also find ventilated front seats and heated front seats, 3-staged for the driver and the front passenger, heated steering wheel, and a 12-volt power outlet. Love this wood grain interior trim, certainly gives it much more contrast inside of here. We also do have dual cup holders and another 12 volt outlet. And then you have a little cell phone holder and then USB charging port. Center console lid is also soft touch and it is adjustable, which is nice. There's a decent amount of space in the center console here, but General Motors full-size SUVs certainly have a lot more. You have your video jacks down there, and then also you have your power outlet on and off button too. The Armada also features all of the latest safety technologies like adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, and blind spot detection. One thing I have to say about the Armada's interior is that since it does have like Infiniti-like levels of quality, it really doesn't make sense for Infiniti to have the QX80, as the QX80 only feels slightly more luxurious than this new Armada here. Now coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, the gauges are okay looking. As you can see, it's a little dated. No TFT instrument cluster here, and you won't find a color LCD display like how you will find in the Tahoe, the Expedition, and the Yukon. But over here we do have your coolant temperature, battery voltage, tachometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, and your oil pressure. And then right there you'll find your little driver information center. Shows you basic vehicle information such as what gear you're in, and then also your average fuel economy, and then it also shows you your odometer too. You also do have tri-zone automatic climate control. You have your temperatures for the driver, front passenger, rear window defroster, front window defroster, your fan speed levels, and then your different zones. And then you have your recycling mode too. And then right here you can turn the rear climate control on or off. Now let's get to the infotainment system and the main head unit. Now this is one of the areas where Nissan is certainly lacking compared to many of its competitors, and that's when it comes to technology. This is a pretty dated looking interface. I much rather prefer their new interface that you'll find in the new Maxima and the Murano, and this looks like it came straight out of 2008 rather than 2017. But you do have all of your basic audio sources here: AM, FM, XM satellite radio, your auxiliary input, USB port, all that basic stuff here. And then this is your navigation system. As you can see, the map quality is just really dated looking here, and it's pretty scrunchy, but you do have live traffic and you can enter in your destination by voice if you would like, and you can zoom in and out, but it's pretty basic here, nothing too out of the ordinary. What I do love is that you can access your 360-degree view camera at any time, which is nice. And then right here you do have your info. Shows you vehicle information like your fuel economy and your fuel range. Then you also do have your tire pressure. Much of this stuff should be near the gauge cluster, however. That's what many other vehicles do. And then you have maintenance, like your engine oil, oil filter, tire. Your traffic info gives you your nearby traffic info. And then your weather. You can view your forecast. You have a temperature map, weather map, road condition map. And then right here you also do have your digital clock. You do a map update. And then settings, many different settings that you could change here, from navigation, audio, volume and beeps, rear display, the driver assistance, forward emergency braking, lots of safety technologies on this Armada here. And Bluetooth settings. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone, have all of your contacts stored on here, have an integrated dial pad. And then let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition.
Please say call, followed by a phone book name, or say a category like navigation. You can push the talk switch to stop voice prompts and give a command at once.
Audio.
Audio, please say
FM.
playing FM.
Overall, the voice recognition does work fairly well. And then down here we also do have your optical disc drive for your CD player, your presets, and then you can access your media sources from right here too. Then we also do have your volume knob and your tune knob. But overall, I really think they need to update the system. I really wish they would put the infotainment system in the head unit from the Maxima or the Murano inside of here. Then it would be pretty good. Now, where the Armada has a pretty big advantage over its competitors is certainly in its ride quality. It's untruck-like and it's very smooth and subdued and especially quiet. That's where many of its Infinity characteristics start to show when you're driving this vehicle, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The Ford Expedition also offers a pretty smooth ride quality with its rear independent suspension, but in comparison to this Armada here, the Armada is a much smoother riding vehicle. The 5.6 liter V8 certainly provides enough power for this vehicle, but it's certainly lacking in terms of fuel efficiency compared to many of its rivals. But overall, driving the Armada, it's a pretty pleasant driving experience. But don't expect it to handle like a sports car. This is a big old SUV here. It's not nimble like how you'll find in many other crossovers. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and shut down the Armada. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Power tailgate. Now the cargo space is actually pretty good with the third row seats up, but you won't find a long wheelbase version like how you'll find in the Tahoe, which is the Suburban, and then the Expedition has the Expedition EL. So if you're looking for more space, then you would just step up to those vehicles. But you do have power folding third row seats, and these have to be some of the slowest power folding seats I've ever seen in a vehicle. I mean, these are really slow here. But it's nice that you do have that feature. You also do have a 12-volt power outlet as well. Any day now. I like how they also like recline a little bit for greater comfort. Interior quality does follow through in the rear, and I love these little ripples on the leather. Reminds me of 90s vehicles. You also do have second row captain's chairs back here too. And to get into the third row, it's pretty easy. As you can see, just a pull of that little lever right there and just hop right in. And you also do have your wireless headphones right there all packaged up in its little bag for the DVD entertainment system. Now back here you will find plenty of space in the Armada. There's plenty of legroom and plenty of headroom. Like I said, there's nothing like a full-size SUV when it comes to space. You also do have dual map pockets, and you have automatic climate control back here, as well as heated rear seats, two-staged, and then dual cup holders, and then a huge amount of center console storage. And I love how Nissan offers a full-on center console for the second row passengers, which is nice. And the headrests are also adjustable back here. But in the Chevrolet Tahoe and the GMC Yukon, you won't find this big old center console right here, and it'll just create easier access into the third row when you walk down the middle, which is pretty nice. But this center console is also nice too. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the third row. Now back here in the third row, it's not too shabby actually. It's better than the Chevy Tahoe, and it's a little bit smaller compared to the Ford Expedition. But like I said, the Ford Expedition and the Tahoe, the Chevrolet has the Suburban, and then the Ford has the Expedition EL. So if you're looking for more space in the third row, you'll go for those versions. But there's an okay amount of space back here, and the rear headrests are adjustable back here, and then you do have cup holders, which is nice. Really easy mechanism, just love that. Power passenger seat with power recline and power lumbar. Go glove box compartment. So with its comfortable, luxurious, and roomy interior, its excellent road manners, and its high ground clearance that's ready for off-road adventures, the 2017 Nissan Armada is a good alternative to the domestic brands. However, if you're looking for a full-size SUV that's a little bit more fuel efficient and is a little bit better when it comes to in-car connectivity as well as technology, then you may want to check elsewhere. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.